It all came down to this. One fight. Everything I had done in the last 3 months was about this one fight. Months of training, planning, secret groups, private meetings, all of this just to regain control of my server. And after Ace had killed Ashley, a member of my group, he was now threatening to kill everyone else. But after stopping Ace, it wasn't long before I realized it's not the enemy you see that kills you. Instead, the one hiding within, the enemy that you trust.
Your district is a piece of crap.
Lowell? I had trusted Lowell, and yet he had betrayed me in front of everyone. When I first created the district with the goal of bringing order to our server, I had only one request. Do not betray me. Because frankly, I was just tired of not knowing who I could trust. So I went to the town hall to meet with the only people left that I could. So I guess we know where Lowell's loyalties really lie now.
Yeah.
He said he was contracted. That's the interesting...
No, yeah, he does anything for the right price.
So, but who would have contracted him to kill Shadow?
Probably Ace. Because I know Lowell will literally work with anybody if they give him a good amount of money.
Even though we had learned why Lowell had killed Shadow, I still had one question I needed answered. You see, Lowell was Ray's brother, and I needed to know if we could truly trust her or not. So Ray, can we still trust your loyalty then? I know obviously you're close with your brother, but...
Yeah, after what they pulled, I want to be with you guys. I don't want to deal with that.
Hey man, at least none of us died.
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
But Ashley needs to be careful.
Yeah, they might be gunning for you, Ashley, so we'll...
Oh, they're coming for me for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did not know how this event was going to end. I definitely did not see that coming, though. Okay, this was not entirely true, you see, because I knew way more than I was letting on. But in order for me to explain this, I'm going to have to flash back to a conversation me and Ashley had about a month before the fight, after she told me something she had learned from Shadow. Hello.
Hello. Were you followed?
No. Definitely good.
Okay. Good. Well, a lot has happened, and it's not good. We can't trust anyone in the group anymore, Belle.
Okay.
Lowell has been feeding them information. He hasn't told them that I'm a spy, but he's for himself. He's like SK. He is working for himself, so he is not loyal to the district anymore. And he's been selling them all this information. That's how they know everything. Lowell has been feeding them every single piece of information that we have at the meeting. They know because of him.
After learning that Lowell was a traitor, we quickly had to begin coming up with a plan, because I couldn't just attack Lowell. Even if I killed him, he would just go into hiding, and there would be no way to control what he did after that. Also, if I attacked him now, Shadow would realize that Ashley had actually been working for me this entire time, and would just kill her for it. So we would instead have to wait for Lowell to make the first move. But we couldn't just wait around for him to strike, so Ashley came up with an idea to learn exactly what he was up to.
As you know, I'm a spy for the district on Shatterchain. However, I feel like I trust you enough that I can tell you, and I feel like we're both in the same position at this point, where we're basically working for ourselves. Like, It's clear that you're not loyal to the district, and you're definitely not loyal to Shatterchain. But it's good to know that I'm not the only one who isn't loyal to Belle.
Now, it was risky for Ashley to go to Lowell and then to try to convince him that she was no longer on my side, but if she was able to accomplish this, she might just be able to get him to share his entire plan with her.
So, what would you say about making the opening of the district unforgettable?
What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you have discourse with Belle. I have discourse with Belle. I'm not going to say whether or not something is going to happen, but there is plans for possibly an assassination to occur on the opening of the district. The final question I have for you is, are you willing to betray Belle? Are you willing to put a sword in his back? Because either way, Belle will die.
Now that I knew Lowell's plan was to kill me at the event, I could begin coming up with a plan to take him out instead, because I had a secret member of my group that almost no one knew about. You You see, Bug was one of the best PvPers on the server, and while I did not know how good Lowell was, I knew between Bug and I, we would be able to take him down. All we had to do was wait for Lowell to attack me, but that was the problem. He never did. Because after I had killed Ace, Lowell had realized he was not strong enough to beat me, or to get to Ashley. So he decided to kill Shadow instead, who he had been contracted to kill. But because he didn't attack me like we had expected, he was able to escape. Even though we didn't catch him, he was now an enemy of the entire server. But what we had forgotten is that he knew one secret that would turn the rest of the server against each other.
Evidence has been brought to me recently that you may have gone from double agent to straight traitor.
What?
Ashley, to no surprise, quickly started panicking and began to message me. Because Ashley and I had a deal. Whenever she had a meeting with Shadow, I would always be prepared to get on and save her just in case they found out. But after waiting for well over an hour, I fell asleep. So, unfortunately, I was unable to come to Ashley's aid, and Shadow killed her for it. Even though I wanted to deal with Lowell, there was no way I was going to let Shadow get away with this. And it was time for me to meet with her directly. But before I could talk to her, SK had reached out to me about some questions that he wanted answered.
Bellistic. He's in the courtroom right now.
Okay, alright, I'm gonna head over. Where are you gonna be?
Yeah, I'll be a pearl away, and I'll, just dig through the roof.
Okay, I just what direction should
I don't know, scream pineapples.
Okay.
Just scream pineapples and I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good luck, my friend.
Now, you may be wondering why I asked Bug to be there. Well, while SK was by himself, he was known to be very close to Shadow, and even attended all the meetings for her group. He was also a very good PvPer, and this wouldn't be the first time he had tried to attack me. Because Shadow knew I wouldn't take her killing Ashley lightly, this might be her plan to get to me first, so I decided to bring Bug as backup in case things got out of hand.
I want to know who you don't think is trustworthy.
Who I don't think is trustworthy?
Yeah, on the entire server. If there's anybody that you don't think that I should be listening to, anybody you think would probably be lying to me, who do you think?
Before I answer that, I'm curious why you want to know the answers to some of these questions.
Because having things on the server isn't all that important. Having information is everything. The only thing that's worth any value is knowing who is doing and saying what. And honestly, I'm just sick and tired of the lack of trust and all of the backstabbing and all of the lying. And I'm here to stand against it and try to share information as much as I can so that people can just be trusted for once in this freaking god-awful server.
This was not news to me. I had learned a long time ago on the server that information was everything. And even though I thought SK was telling the truth, because SK had betrayed me before, there was no way I trusted him enough to share everything I knew. But what I quickly learned was that I was not really the person that he wanted to talk to.
So, I know Bell isn't the one to be out here without a backup plan. So, do you trust me for something real quick?
Sure.
Alright.
Okay. Pineapples, 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 pineapples!
Bell. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna kill you.
Alright, well, you gonna tell me what you are doing?
I'm trying to figure out where Bug is.
You see, after Lowell had killed Shadow, Bug, Ray, and SK began chasing him down before he got away. But after that, Bug had stood out to SK, and my plan of keeping Bug a secret was no longer gonna work. Bug!
I wanted to see...
Oh, there you go.
Yo. Hello.
How are you, Bug? We haven't talked much.
Oh, I'm doing good.
Well, Bell, thanks for coming to the meeting, but the real person I wanted to talk to is Bug. Would you be down for a one-on-one chat real quick, Bug?
Sure.
Alright.
I'm
Where are you gonna go, Bug?
I'm getting kicked out of my own district.
Yep.
Alright, it's fine. Have fun, Bug. Even though SK's plans had caught me off guard, I knew I could trust Bug, and this would provide me the perfect opportunity to meet up with Shadow. While I had originally asked Bug to get on in case she had a trap plan for me during our meeting, Shadow had made me agree that no one else from either group would show up. Even though I didn't really trust her, SK was the only person I was really worried about, and since he was meeting with Bug, I knew I could handle this meeting by myself.
You've been trying to instigate. You've been trying to get Shatterchain to instigate a war with the district.
Have I? I mean, you came at a member of my district who joined both of our sides at the beginning of our world and made a decision on her own. And you decided that that was worthy of killing her.
No, that wasn't it. Belle, you really have become the menace that you tried to eliminate in our last world. I've been trying to tiptoe, to play nice, to start over. I know you're still bitter about the betrayal and everything that happened in our last world. Hell, I'll be upfront. I'm not proud of what I did. But I decided to use this world as a chance to move on. And you haven't. You're still gunning for us, even though we have gone out of our way not to anger you.
Wait, do you see that? Yeah, that right there! Shadow had made me agree that no one else would be at this meeting. Yet despite her spilling her guts about how she had moved on, I still couldn't trust her. And it was time for her to understand exactly what happens to people I can't trust. I'm kind of tired of the talking, to be honest, and everyone wanted to criticize me because ultimately they were sitting back and doing nothing. And they were the ones afraid.
You're not in charge of the world. None of us are. Trying to control all of it, trying to bestow order on people you don't have power over, or rather, you shouldn't have power over. You know why we keep secrets, Belle? It's not because we wanted war. It's because we wanted to be safe.
Look, ultimately, Shadow, it just boils down to the fact I think you realize you don't have any power of your own.
I didn't come here saying I wanted war. I came here saying you want a war. And I'm done tiptoeing around. I'm done. I'm ready to take action.
Okay. Well, so am I.
No!
Wonder who this is. So much for not bringing other people here. Shocker, whole group's here. Alright, where are you? Oh, now I know who you are.
Hey. Who else is on... Do you have anyone else on your side, or is it just you?
It's just me.
Alright.
I held up to my word of not bringing anybody else in.
Alright. Belle, hey, I got no beef with you. We can stop now. I agree with Shadow, though. It's pretty obvious that you're trying to use them as a scapegoat for the server, just so that you can take more control. And I don't agree with it.
I mean, I don't really care what people think. It didn't matter what anyone thought at this point, when ultimately, I couldn't trust them. No matter what Shadow may want to say about me, there's one thing that I am. I'm loyal. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I'm going to protect the members of my group, the people I can trust. But trust is more than just something you receive for keeping your word. Trust is something you must also give. For whoever trusts in himself is a fool. So whoever doesn't trust others will ultimately not be trusted.
So, I'm having some second thoughts, Belle.